Welcome, everybody, to a new edition of Inside the PFL, new season, week 0 team overview. This is a new voice, semi-new voice for Inside the PFL. It is Drac, and I'm joined with two co-hosts this time, if they care to introduce themselves.
Listen, man, I'm like the permanent co-host at this point. If you don't know who I am, like, we're just here. We're here. I am the co-host.
Hi, it's Vic.
Hello,
and Vic's here too. Vic's here too, everyone. It's Mike for those who don't actually play with us and know the sound of my terrible voice by now.
All
We've
right,
been doing this for seasons.
Vic, why don't you give us a bit of an intro to yourself? Beloved League player.
I like numbers. I make a lot of Pokemon sets. Drac knows that I will give him such crazy shit that no one else would think of.
I like numbers. You're a slave, man.
Looking at you, physical Milotic.
So there we go. We've sort of set up the dynamic. Vic will be talking about numbers, potentially. Me and Mike will give more general, cerebral takes on the teams. But anyway,
Things
let's...
that I do and don't want to see.
Right. So let's get into it. We'll be starting left to right. Starting with the... which division is LCD Murphy Nijia in?
And M1. I don't know, the pink
yes.
division?
Yes, the pink division.
I'm gonna call it the pink division.
All right, the pink division. The Miss Magus division. There it is.
There it is, Miss Magus, right.
All right. So let's take a look at LCD's team first. We have big old Mega T-Tar on the card, followed by an extremely scary, expensive core of Clefable and Salamence.
I don't like it. Can we already stop? I already don't like it.
So I love Mega T-Tar. I love Crobat. I love
Crobat.
I love all these fat walls that LCD has. He's got all the hazards, and just insane team synergy, I think. So this is going to be a very... And there's Leavanny for webs. And you got spikes on Ferroseed.
There's a lot of what version of this mon am I gonna see? Like, Salamence could be physical or special. The physical is more common, but I mean, you can drop a Draco on someone. The Crobat, as you've shown, could be physical or special.
I love me special Crobat.
Dude, you hit Nasty Plot, and I went, why? And then you swept someone, and I went, oh. That's why.
He's got to worry about, like, his opponents have to worry about 3 different belly drum mons. Looking at you, Poliwrath, Clefable, and Slowbro.
If I see Belly Drum Clefable, I might have to take a lap. Like, if I am on the stream and I see Belly Drum Clefable, I'm taking a lap.
LCD hit my line. I got you.
Oh my god. That's like when Rob ran the recycle meteor beam power herb on Clefable. Like, it's such a good mon. It gets so many things.
What a fun set that we come up with. I think the only seriously one-dimensional mons would be, you know, his lower tiers in Ferroseed, Leavanny, and Alolan Marowak. But even then, those are 3 pretty big threats you got to worry about.
I got to use Alolan Marowak when I piloted, I think, like, Dave's team last season, and any mon that you can just hit free Poltergeists on is a great option. Just great. And, like, all these mons cover Mega T-Tar surprisingly well if you look at his team.
Oh yeah,
like,
I love Mega T-Tar and Crobat.
Right, you got Mega T-Tar and Crobat and Salamence to get rid of both the Earthquake weaknesses, and Clefable and Mance and Crobat for the fighting. Like, it's insane. He really just went, how am I going to make Mega T-Tar win this game? He doesn't have a Sand team. He just has Mega T-Tar.
Yeah, Mega T-Tar gets that free AV. You gotta love it.
It's one of those options where he got Mega T-Tar last, because, like, in this situation, I probably would have taken regular T-Tar over it, but I think he was off the board by then. Somebody got him early.
Manus.
Oh, good old
Yes, Manny. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for LCD. Next in the Miss Magus division, Murphy. In keeping with the theme of sand for this Miss Magus division, Gigalith and Excadrill.
So there was a point where I didn't know Murphy's whole team during the draft, and I just kept seeing Murphy draft Mons at 4x resisted fighting. Like, there was like 2 or 3 picks in a row where he was just like, I need to resist fighting. And I went, why? So I looked up his team, and then I saw Gigalith and Excadrill, and I went, oh, that's what Murphy's doing.
Yep, he also has 2 thick fat Mons with that both got moved down coincidentally with
Yeah.
Appleton and Miltank.
He sniped Miltank like 3 picks before me. I was so tilted. I wasn't not going to talk Miltank up in the suggestion box and not take him.
Yeah, it's one of those dynamics in drafting where the lower a Mon is, the more value it is, so it might actually get picked earlier
Right,
than you
like-
might think a 60 point would get drafted.
And that almost bones you because, like, you kind of rely on your low-tier picks. Like, Murphy drafted... Listen, he has a lot of Mons that are weak to fighting, and then a lot of Mons that either 4x resisted or are immune. It's crazy.
Very polarizing team. I think maybe the only criticism I have is his fastest Mon outside of Sand is Mienshao.
Yeah, I had that.
That's true. But, I mean, you can... Just trying to lurk and have a scarf, but you are right. His team isn't very fast. He doesn't have much support to slow things down, minus, like, Togekiss. I'm sure Xatu gets T-Wave and Miltank does as well.
I think,
Goldfish does.
Okay, yeah, okay.
yeah. So I think Murphy's got a very scary team. It'd be kind of scary to prep for. I think maybe another point is that Scrafty is really the only check to an offensive Ghost or Dark type.
Oh, yeah. Murphy's team, while scary, is almost kind of linear, too. Like, I don't know. I'm interested to see what he does with it, that's for sure. Like, he loves Togekiss. That's one of his boys, so I know he's going to do work with it. I hate his Miltank build, but that's just me. So I'm interested to see what he does with this team this season. He has a lot of really good Mons.
Yep, it's going to be interesting. Murphy is going to be going fast, hitting hard, and walling the shit out of people.
Oh my god, if he takes us into another 100-turn match on purpose, I'm gonna scream.
Oh, we're gonna get into 100-turn matches at some point. Also, something I forgot to mention, Evan Ekans, I love that team name. It's
Dude.
such a genius team name. I can't believe it hasn't been chosen before.
Murphy has ruined so many things for me, like team name wise. Like every time I think of the song "Dear Maria, Count Me In," I automatically go "Pre-Marina, Count Me In." Like he has done so good at it. Amazing team name.
All right. Any closing thoughts, Bick?
I mean, you said he doesn't really have good ghost resist. Miltank being...
That's true. Having Scrappy.
Like,
Miltank is so good. That Mon's 100 base speed. Why? Why? Is that faster than Mineshaw?
No.
Is Mineshaw like 115?
Mancho is 105.
105? Okay. So still like, damn.
also, the defensive core with the Sand, Kiss, and Appleton really helps with Excadrill and his weaknesses.
Oh, I agree completely.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And even Xatu. Like, I feel like Xatu might put in some serious work this season.
Yeah, Zaltu's very good.
But like that other 4 times resist to fighting, man, I feel like it's gonna come in handy.
I gotta word Mike on this one. He's got great fighting resists with Togekiss, Xatu, and even Intimidate on who's that?
Quillfish,
Quillfish,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, and he's got the Toxic Spike support too, so that'll be fun.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up for Murphy then.
Oh yeah.
Next is Nijia with Drifloon's Tower Defense 6.
Love it.
This is a fantastic team name and also a fantastic team building. Almost all of these Mons can function in multiple roles. Diancie can be either special or physical now that it has access to Play Rough. So, yeah, Z Rain Dance Manaphy is a nightmare. Nidoking punches holes in everything.
This whole team is a nightmare. It's very offensive.
Absolutely.
I mean, Mega Diancie, if I remember right, the trade-off is it loses most of its defenses and just gains a lot of offenses. So I feel like his most offensive Mons might be like Evolite Tangela and Evolite Piloswine.
Mega Diancie still has both base 110 defense and special defense.
Yep,
Oh, okay.
that is true.
I didn't. I didn't know that. I thought that the trade-off was much more than that. So, okay. So his team isn't as small as I thought. And Latios is actually not small either. It'll be interesting. I like this team. Any team that has Nidoking on it, I'm already like, yep, in, cool, sold.
I think maybe the only drawback is that Tangela is really the only real recovery.
Oh yeah, like where's his
Because
cleric?
That's true. Like Latios does not get Wish like Latios does.
It's almost like you can beat Nijia by like just surviving. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a way to play the long game.
Yep. Very true.
Also, Fortress is bad.
I'm gonna disagree on that one. I think
Why is Fortress bad? What?
we saw Fortress hit counter against a Mega Medicham last
win.
season. Yeah,
And win.
Bad.
one gym the game.
Dumb Pokemon. All he does is sit there.
Okay, so what? That's sometimes what you need to happen for
That
4
is
turns
true.
while you figure out what the fuck's going on with your life.
That is very true.
Sometimes you need to just hang out, Vic.
Also, his flying resist is Mega Dancy, and that's it.
So he has what? Galvantula is neutral. Tangela doesn't want a flying move. Goliathopod.
Embor doesn't want it.
Ambor's fighting. Okay, so he does have a little bit of a flying problem, but I mean, also, Mega Diancie is not slow, and like what? Mega Pidgeot is one of the fastest flying ones, and maybe Mega Aerodactyl.
Oh, I pointed this out. Stuff like Coco can run Modest or Adamant or anything like that.
Where's Coco?
Oh yeah,
Hold on.
110 being the fastest speed with both Latios and Mega Diancie might run Nijia into some problems.
But then he
However,
also has, in my opinion, one of the best web setters.
that is true. I was about to say he's got what I consider the best web setter as well, and then he's got lots of good Scarf speed tier mons. Like I
Right.
said, Z Rain Dance on Manaphy for speed. Yeah,
And
I think Latios can run Dragon Dance.
Don't sleep on Scarf Nidoking either. Like I
Yeah.
know a lot of people just go right into the Life Orb, but like when Nidoking goes first, that's a fucking problem.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right.
Especially when you don't expect it.
Yeah, yeah. If sometimes like one surprise Scarfmon can completely swing a game.
Right.
Like I ran Scarfalolan Executor against Thomas last season, and that just trumps Lando, surprisingly.
Nijia is going to have a big problem with knockoff, actually, looking at this. Just because he has 2 Evolite Mons, like, if I was prepping against him, I'd make sure I had knockoff.
Well, a
At
fairy
least
switch
on
into
one mon.
the knockoff is great.
Yeah,
With
but
that
only
being your mega.
one. But
Yeah.
only one. That's an issue. Like, obviously, yeah, it's cool, but like we already talked about how he doesn't have recovery. Therefore, chip damage is also something he needs to worry about.
Very true. And I think with that, we're going to move to the last person in the Miss Magus division, M1 with Space Patrol Buluko.
I don't understand this one. I don't ever. Not his team name.
Oh, Space Patrol Luluko is an anime.
Okay, I understand now. What
so
pick did he have? It was late, right?
yeah, he was second to last, I believe.
And he got Lando.
He got Lando.
We're all stupid. Every single person in the top 4 was like, yeah, somebody else will get him.
I think that plays a lot into the draft psychology. Like Tornadus went round 4, I think. Even though Tornadus is extremely good and is probably undervalued at 160.
I got Dragapult round 4 last season.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where everybody assumes somebody else is going to draft it, so they don't even bother trying to avoid getting sniped.
Like, I remember I was talking to Joe early in the season, and he was like, why not go for Lando? And I was like, yeah, somebody else will take it.
Anyway, let's talk about the meat of M1's team.
Ugh.
I think it's all of his fat mons have an offensive presence as well, which I think is something you can't really sleep on, even though you might notice that he doesn't have like a ton of recovery outside of grassy terrain. He basically has recovery on Miltank. And I think grassy terrain is going to go a long way to support M1's team, which otherwise has... Yeah, Melodic has recover.
You said Miltank. I got
Oh,
confused.
my bad.
We're back.
Okay, back to reality.
You're right. M1 doesn't have a lot of recover. However, seeing Lando's name in White Bear as a Z captain, the old Lando Z Fly special, boys.
He
Oh,
paired
baby.
Lando up with Bulu. I don't really know about that.
I'm interested.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
it.
interested. It
I
does
like it.
nerf your own Earthquake, and you've got 2 heavy-hitting mons that are weak to Ice, but he also has Kalparaja, Miltank, Salazzle to deal with that. And on top of that... Oh, how do I keep saying this? Too many mills.
Oh
What
boy.
was
The
that?
only other ground move he gets is Earth Power. So M1, please, special Lando, please.
Listen, I love fast substitute mons. Staring at Salazzle, I love it. I've gotten Salazzle in so many random battles and took down like 3 boys just hitting sub protect. Sub protect.
It's rage quit with that.
Yeah, it's great. It's hilarious. I hope M1 wins at least 1 game by sub protect toxic Salazzle. And it better not be against me because I'll probably rage. Oh boy. I like Meowstick. That's an interesting
Yeah, he has
low tier
2.
choice.
He has 2 different strong screen setters with Electrode and Meowstick. I think screens are going to go a long way to help M1 as well.
Yeah.
With the generally fat mons we see.
I'm happy that we finally put the mummies back in tier 3 where they belong. Good old 100-point mons. What is he gonna hit Z Memento with Kofag? Is that like his play?
Z Memento would be the reason you have Kofagragus as your Z captain.
Listen, man, you almost killed Lando, and now he's back. And he's back.
There's a lot of mons you see that I was like, okay, they're low, they're chipped, and you don't want to see them getting Z Mementoed back up.
Right. It's, you know what? He might actually have to run special Lando because he doesn't have a lot of special presence, I feel. I mean, Electrode, Meowstick, Selgor, and Salazzle. Okay.
Is his removal only Lando?
I guess he has Magic Bounce as well, but I believe so.
I don't like that.
Sorry, repeat that pick.
Oh, Absol. Right, Absol.
Yeah, so he's got
PS2 got Magic Bounce.
Yeah, he's got Magic Bounce and Defog. He's got 2 Rock Setters. He's got a Toxic Spike Setter. So I think M1's doing fine on the hazards.
Ooh, I don't know. In a division where you're looking at Galvantula, who we already talked about,
Oh,
is like
very
one of the
true.
best. And I mean, you got Murphy might try and get some Toxic Spikes out there. He actually has 2 web setters with Levani to worry about too. Like this is gonna be. And Donphan's he's gonna have lots of hazards pretty much in every match, I feel. I mean, Murphy's whole thing is hazards. He's got Miltank and all that. And then, I mean, Donphan is just stealth rocks them on.
Very true. So that's going to wrap up the Miss Magus division. Onto the Driftblim division with Tristan.
Ew. Ew.
I hate it. I hate it.
Stupid Lego Rock Monster Man. Ew. Ban it now.
Lego
Oh,
Rock
come on.
Monster. Who do you
He's
want
talking about
banned?
Stonejourner.
Ah, dude, Tristan is gonna ruin us with Stonejourner like he ruined everybody with Chestnut. You ready to see Stonejourner be one of the last surviving mons that he brings as a 40-point mon every game? Because I am, because I face him twice.
He did that last season to me, and I fucking hate that Pokemon.
Tristan,
What's its ability? Power Spot that just amplifies all of his moves by 1.3.
It's
free,
like
free
the
life orb.
great. That's what we need.
So anyway, Tristan's team is incredibly fat. Like everybody has just innate, very high defenses,
I hate
except
it.
for maybe Toxtricity.
I fucking hate it. I don't want to fight it twice. Oh my god, like, it's huge. Glastrier alone, like, try and get rid of that Pokemon in 1 turn. It ain't happening.
Yeah,
You're not
very
doing
true.
it.
And you definitely don't want to be like potentially procking a weakness policy. We know Tristan loves Trick Room, which I believe Meloetta's the only setter. So
my
that
God.
can be very spooky. I
Even
think.
just like his low tier is so good. Turtonator and Driftblim,
Oh, I was eyeing Turtonator for a little bit.
he's so good.
Yeah, Swallow. Yeah.
I think maybe a criticism I might say is that his team is generally slow, outside of a potential Trick Room on somebody, and he doesn't have a Fairy or a Steel type, which might be a problem, but we'll see.
Yeah, he's another one who I don't see a lot of recovery. I mean, Dripman gets strength sap,
Yeah.
but I don't know about Zarude Sandstorm over there. I don't know what he gets.
He's got the signature move, Jungle Healing. It's like a heal bell.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
quarter of your HP plus heal bell.
Ooh, okay, so that's pretty cool.
But yeah, outside of like a Calm Mind rest set on Suicune, maybe like an Iron D rest on Glastrier.
You know, the very, very, very rare Dragon Dance on Zygarde to just win the game. Tristan's turn 1 could very well be Thousand Arrows, and a lot of us don't want that.
He doesn't even need to run Dragon Dance. He can run like Coil with Scale Shot and just ruin lives.
I hate you.
Oh, why would you suggest that?
Hate it.
It's my job to ruin Mike.
I hate it. Coil and Scale Shot together, just stop.
And with the accuracy boost, that shit ain't missing.
Oh no.
I hate it.
We said Tristan's team was slow, but it just occurred to me, Meloetta can totally run Relic Song and get up to, I think, 125 base speed.
Thought it was 145.
Tornado gets a nice little shell smash.
But I don't think he's outspeeding a lot of things with base 30 speed.
I just remember he becomes faster than it might be Steel type after one Dragon Dance. I think he's fast because it happened in Monotype where somebody was playing and they figured out if they got one
Shell Smash
off, he was faster than everything else they were playing.
Okay. I just looked it up. Meloetta gets to 128. What was that?
That's a lot of speed.
At +2, Turt outspeeds base over 100s.
Okay.
I don't know where it caps off. I think it might be like 110.
So speedy mons might be an issue for Tristan, but lots of sweepers are not going to be able to one-shot a lot of Tristan's mons, so there's sort of an innate trade-off there.
He's gonna have a little bit of a problem with people U-turning on him too. Just a small one. I mean, not many of his mons are weak to it, but just I don't like looking at Zarude. Mons 4 times weak to U-turn are interesting just because pivot is so common.
But that mon is still so fucking fat.
True. Very true. I don't like Suicune, and it's not that I don't like Suicune because it's bad. I don't like Suicune because it's fucking terrifying. Like, is it going to be the rest set? Is it going to have an assault vest? Is it probably just going to be the rest set? Who knows?
Right. So that's going to be Hera Cross 'em Up, Tristan's team.
Love the name.
Next team, Jim with Pat Ratatouille.
I love that name.
First new mon introduced, Tapu Lele.
Commissioner gets the mon we introduce. I smell collusion. Just a little bit.
Sure, you can smell collusion. I was an advocate for Lele entering Lele and Aegislash. I think with respect to the rest of the mons we allow in the league, like Mega Mawile, Dragapult, who else? Dracovish. I think Lele's kind of in line for a 200 with them.
Should have been Urshifu. Should have been Urshifu.
Man, listen, I'm for it too until I'm looking at Lele, Ferrothorn, Mega Sharpedo, and Noivern as this man's first 4 picks.
Oh yeah.
Those were the first 4 picks, and I went.
Jim has insane type cores.
I hate it. I fucking hate it, dude. Like, ugh. Lantern with the double absorb. What's he gonna do with Nihilego? Who knows?
Be immune to bullet punch.
Stop. I hate it so much.
And then he picked up Mamoswine last? How?
I mean,
Mamoswine is an insanely good ice type with thick fat.
But we don't draft it often, I feel.
It's been 160 for a long time.
Okay, so it was a good move down, and also getting a mon like that last isn't. It seems kind of crazy, but like after round 4, you should probably switch your draft to low tier because the high tiers are still going to be there. I'd rather fill with a high tier mon than a low tier mon.
Yeah, that's very fair. I think the season I had Incineroar, I picked him last.
Yeah, I got Infernape last before. Like it's It's a viable strat, and I love picking up Mammo last too. Like, because Mammo's a mon that when people in your division see it, they definitely want to go, okay, how do I beat Mammo?
But now you can't run Ice Shard on Mamo.
Why? Oh,
because of psychic terrain.
He still could. I mean, it's not that he can't; it's that he'd have to be careful.
Right.
What I don't like about it is looking at Mega Sharpedo and Psychic Terrain is fucking terrifying.
Absolutely.
Just big nopes there. Big nope energy.
He's got great hazard supports with the spikes and the webs. Masquerain. I love Masquerain.
Right.
I loved using it.
It's a top tier 60-point mon. It really is. It's
Absolutely.
just intimidate and sticky webs alone make it worth it. It gets quiver dance. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
This team is so good. Looking at Blaziken as his Z captain, is he just gonna blow something up? Is that his plan?
It very well could be. I'm also noticing he has amazing fighting resist to cover Ferrothorn and Mega Sharpedo, with Lele and Masquerain both being quad resisted.
Right, like
Even normal resists.
But he has a lot of mons, to be fair, that he has to resist fighting with. Like Mammo having Thick Fat, one of the most reliable ways to get rid of him is with fighting. And you already said Mega Sharpedo and Ferrothorn, so just drafting those mons to cover it, smart.
Very smart. I think maybe the only thing, quote unquote, wrong with the team is Leech Seed on Ferrothorn. Really seems to be the only recovery outside of the double absorb.
Kamala has Wish, but it's based like 60 HP.
Okay, I didn't know Kamala had Wish.
Does he have like an aromatherapy or a heal bell anywhere?
I think Lantern, yeah.
Okay, so he has a cleric in a bunch of different mons, so the parts are there. It just kind of sucks that he'd have to bring 3 different mons to get all 3 parts.
That's true.
Although he might just try and go fast. His goal might not be to sit there for a while. He might try, like, his team is fast.
Just hyper offense, pretty much.
Right. Like, Nihilego is not slow. I mean, Mega Sharpedo speaks for itself. Same with Blaziken. Blaziken is, I think, 80 or somewhere in there. A very viable Scarf. Like, I think Jim is either going to go fast or slow you down and then go fast.
Yeah, that's true. I do like how he has the double speed boost mon, but also not really, because Blaziken can't run speed boost in our league.
Right, I was thinking about that too. If Blaziken got speed boost, it would go straight to 200.
Oh, absolutely.
It would be the first 60 to 200 in league history.
Right. I think the closest was we went
with Mega Sharpedo.
Oh yeah, Mega Sharpedo, and also I think Kamo jumped to 200 after it got Clangorous Soul.
Yep, as it should be, and we shouldn't allow it, and I hate it.
I don't think you've drafted in like 2 seasons though.
Good.
Good. Well, with that closing statement, let's continue in the Driftbloom division. Actually, no, we are.
We're still in Driftbloom.
We're still in Driftbloom. I got confused by the color changing. Yeah, Mike's your team. Before we sort of talk about this, what's with this background? Are these? Is this a melodic or not a melodic? God,
Mr. Steak.
Meganium steak that we see in the background getting grilled up.
Vic gets it. It's Mr. Steak. I think it was Team 4-Star ended up getting Meganium in their Nuzlocke of Heart Gold on like accident, and they wanted to call it Miss Steak, but it was a boy, so they called it Mr. Steak. So Joe asked me who I wanted my team captain to be, and I went Mr. Steak, and he didn't get the reference, so we put Meganium on a grill, and I absolutely love it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you for giving us that deep dive into the lore.
Love it so much. This whole, like, I know it was talked about on the draft, this whole team is just memes. Winona's Big Brown Bidoof. I love the icon that Rob drew. Just memes for years. I can't believe it happened either. Joe goes, "You're 3 picks from getting Greninja," and I went, what? I had 3 different teams drafted in case I didn't get both Greninja and Cinderace, because Cinderace alone is a good to pick off of.
Yeah, I think Cinderace fits kind of on every team.
Right.
The double Omni Stab Mons are very, very cool. You've got Florges and Registeel for an insane defense. So tell us more about this team, Mike.
Okay, so I wanted my first 3 picks to be Cinderace, Greninja, and Savali, as you, the person who took Savali 2 picks before me, know this, because I really wanted the memes to be, how do I know my type if you, or how do you know my type if I don't know my type? So Registeel was kind of picked up afterwards, and that's when I figured out I had Dracovish in my division, so I picked up Florges and Arctovish next to kind of deal with those.
Yeah, I think
But,
Arctovish is probably the best check to Dracovish, funnily enough.
It actually does pretty decently well in my division. I mean, I can't bring it every game, but it's definitely useful. My team, Joe, is a little worried. It's not very offensive, but I have a lot of big mons that are going to take a hit and clap back. I also have like 3 or 4% health moves spread throughout this team, and I also love all of my tier 5 picks. I had them picked like second. Like I went Greninja, Cinderace, and then I went right to tier 5 because I knew I had to get cheap mons.
Right. I think maybe something that doesn't fit with my playstyle. I think Ariados and Luxray are kind of whelming mons. I see them and I don't really think about them doing too much work.
Luxray is one of those mons where he gets guts and intimidate, so he gets a lot of different kits, and he's also not small. So yeah, he's not gonna do. I don't want them to do all the things. I need them to do enough. Like, it's no secret that my plan here is to just use Greninja and Cinderace to do the thing. It's not like I'm revealing a big cat out of the bag here. Like I just need to get Greninja and Cinderace into the part where they can do the thing and just win the game.
Bick?
Run special Cinderace, please. Z Electro Ball. I want to see it.
I was actually looking at the moves, and we're gonna see some cheeky shit, and then we're gonna see some very Mike shit. Like, this is actually one of the teams with the least amount of comfort mons for me. Minus like Registeel. I've never used. I had Golbat and never used them. So like, this is a lot of mons I've never used before.
I think also like your fastest mons are Greninja and Cinderace, and then there's kind of a steep drop off.
Oh
you're not
yeah,
going to
my
be running
team is
speed on
not
Golbat
fast.
very many times.
Because
no, right.
Golbat.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, I have 5 trades and pickups. The double S tier was just to see what happens. I've already looked at the tier list to see what's left, but I'm not going to do anything for a couple weeks. But this team for me is at least going to be hilarious. My opponent is at least not going to want to have to prepare for it.
Oh yeah, I got bored and was looking at your matchup against Dan. It ain't looking too pretty. Like, we'll get into that later.
Yikes.
All right, with that, let's go to that opponent, Dan, the Hippowdans.
I hate his team.
Oh,
It's
Sand
so good.
Dracovish.
Sand Stoutland.
Sand Stoutland. Priority Comfey.
His team is so good. It's so good. I love it. I'm interested to see what Dan does. Dan always drafts really good teams, and his battles always come to the wire. Like, Dan is not normally somebody to get swept, I feel. A lot of his games come really close, and actually RNG decides the fate of.
I think Hippowdon, Reuniclus, and Vileplume is just an insanely tanky core.
Yeah. Hippowdon and Vileplume both getting the recovery of Slack-Off and Strength Up is great.
And Reuniclus just gets Recover along with Regenerator.
Oh my god.
Spiritomb is a great check to Ghosts, but it's kind of his only check outside of like Stoutland being immune. His sweeping threats are, you know, kind of both big physical guys with Stoutland and Dracovish. I suppose Reuniclus can sometimes run the like stored power set, but that I don't think you'll be able to bring that every game.
I'm very scared of Stoutland in the sand just because of when James beat us with that fucking Pokemon. So it's just like...
Oh, Stoutland in the sand is terrifying.
It's terrifying. And you know what? It doesn't even need the sand abilities because it gets Scrappy and Intimidate. Like,
Yep,
fuck off.
Absolutely. You can very easily run like a Breaker Scrappy set with Return.
Right. It's gross. His team is good. I love Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl in the sand.
Oh yeah. very true. Aerodactyl getting the AV for sand. Aerodactyl is already pretty viable to run kind of like a middle tank because he's so fast you can afford to put EVs in other stats. Then he gets that free AV in the sand.
Right, you're gonna expect to kill him with like a cheeky electric move, and he's gonna survive, and then he's gonna fucking murder you. It's gonna be... My division is very scary. Screw all of you for drafting this well, because these are three really scary teams. Like, you guys... Ugh. Dan, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
I think Vic was going to say something.
The only real problem I have with Dan's team is his Z captain. Like, Reuniclus is when he has Spiritomb right there for Z Memento, because the rest of the team doesn't really have any form of sustain.
Well,
but Reuniclus
I think he has great sustain, like Slack Off, Comfey getting the priority, Draining Kiss, Strength Sap, Recover, Regenerator.
Yeah, I think the exact opposite. Like, Dan has a lot of sustain happening now.
I mean, it's just for like his offensive threat, because once those are gone, it's kind of GG's.
No, it's not. He can very well stall you out.
Yeah,
you kidding me?
I think Dan's got some stall threats. Very well.
Dan doesn't have to. Dan has the powerhouses of like Aerodactyl, Dracovish, and like even Lucario, but at the same time, Reuniclus, Comfey, Vileplume, like you said it already, Drac. Those three mons are going to be on the field for a long time.
And I love the Pikachu pick. I hope Dan gets to use it. I hope it pops off at least once.
Hey man, if you get it in one match and it wins the match for you, it did the tier 5 thing.
Absolutely.
I'll make sure it happens.
You're going to be in Dan's ear?
Yes.
Great. Amazing. All right, so that's actually going to wrap it up for the Drifblim division. On to Jellicent. And first, we have our resident Inside the PFL co-host, Bick, with Dr. Stonejourner, his favorite
Bick.
Pokemon.
Bick, before you walk us through this, how did it feel round 5, and you had already used 720 points out of your possible 1100?
I didn't feel that bad. It was kind of easy.
Wow, I would have not felt comfortable.
I mean, look at my team card. Look at this Grottle, best ground check in the game.
I think he's got a point. Grottle's a great ground check. Although I don't think you're very susceptible to ground to begin with, but I think it's still a great mon. Like a mono grass that gets Stealth Rock, that's very valuable.
Listen, Bick, you could very well bring Garchomp, Steela, Mega Gallade, and Weavile to every fucking game and probably still win, because that's pretty much a team right there. Like, you don't... That's almost an OU team.
Grottle pretty much has the same stats as Gligar. So...
Wow. That's kind
But
of
what
insane.
are you so worried about taking an EQ? Your Steelmon's flying.
1,000 arrows, EQ, gravity.
You don't have that boy in your division.
But still,
Are you
playoffs,
fighting Tristan in the Conference Cup?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you over-prepared for some ground moves here, boy.
Well, I mean, even if you didn't have Grottle, what's the other 40-point grass you're going to pick up? I think Grottle's a fine pick.
I do like... It is a good mon, don't get me wrong. It's just for you to be... You have Rotom with Levitate. Like, I'm not going to try and hit you with a ground move, what? There's other ways around Stun Tank and Magmortar.
Yeah, this team... I don't know how I feel about it. I got Weavile, one of my favorite mons, so... Yeah.
That was something I wrote in my
love
notes.
Weavile.
You picked Weavile just so that it couldn't be counterpicked against Garchomp. Is that right?
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
one reason.
okay.
That and the speed.
Yeah, the speed is fantastic, obviously. It's a great speed gap between Weavile and Mega Gallade.
You're pretty physical heavy, too. Like, especially on your big, scary boys. Like, I mean, Special Garchomp, viable. And you're Bick, so you'll run him on that's not supposed to be special is special just to prove you can do it.
Yeah, he'll hit you with Devastating Drake, but it's actually Draco Meteor.
Right. So like, but at the same time, like a lot of your mons are primarily physical boys.
I mean, Celesteela can be special sweeping.
Ooh, right.
That's true.
That was the one I was letting you get away with as your like special sweeper. But
Meteor
like,
beam.
no, I'm not arguing with you. Celesteela is definitely a special, or even defensive mon. But like Mega Gallade, Weavile, and Garchomp, you expect them to be physical.
I mean,
Also, if you don't make it to playoffs on the back of Mega Gallade and Garchomp ripping through people alone, because that's terrifying.
Yeah, we might have to move them down on principle.
Mega Gallade rips through people.
why am I getting attacked now? Wait,
I don't think
whoa.
you're getting attacked. I
You're
think
not
we're just
getting
having
attacked.
some lighthearted banter.
Like,
It would
it's
just be
terrifying.
luck
That's like,
if I don't make it to playoffs. My luck. You know this, Mike.
yeah, but like that's like when I looked at Garchomp and Tapu Koko on the same team and went, I don't want to have to prepare for that. I don't want to have to prepare for Garchomp, Steela, Mega Gallade. Those three mons alone.
It might be the scariest 600 club combo you could come
One
up
of
with.
them, yeah. Listen, like I love Garchomp, and then looking at him with Gallade is just big nope. And then Steel is there to take the just no, just so much no. Just bring 4 Pokemon one game. If like you're looking real good, just bring
I
those 4
believe that's
Pokemon
not
and win.
allowed in the rules. You have to bring 6 mons.
Oh, that's upsetting.
I think my comments on this team, while it's looks really insanely offensive, there's not a great deal of removal or pivot. You have like Volt Switch and Flip Turn with Swampert Rotom, and then Rotom and Skuntank are the only defoggers, because I don't believe Celesteela gets it.
And Aromatisse could Wish Pass, but besides
Aromatisse can Wish Pass.
get screens on a lot of boys. I feel like Skuntank and Aromatisse both get them.
Rotom gets both screens.
Oh yeah, Rotom does too. So he's got crippling mons too. I mean, Rotom can just completely shut an opponent down with Willow alone.
Yep, that's true.
And I can always run utility Gallade if I want. Will-O-Wisp, Wish, Destiny Bond.
I hope you manage to bring that to one match. I would love to see that.
Listen, if you have Mega Gallade out and I see Willow, I'm leaving. Just get out.
You're just gonna hop off commentary at that point.
Like, I get it, but at the same time, like, oh my god, Sub-Swords Dance, win.
Last thing I have to say about my team, the irony with my team name, Chef's Kiss.
Dr. Stonejourner, the mon you dreaded seeing all last season.
I still tried to see it because it's such a stupid mon. It doesn't deserve to have this much hype and speed. Why is it base 70?
Just fuck you, that's why.
Well, how do you think Stonehenge got there in the first place? It didn't do it with base 20 speed.
Right, it had a walk. Come
Yeah.
on now.
Just think about this logically for a second. And with that...
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think with that we can move on. Next in the Jellicent division, Manny, Gundam Seedot.
I don't...
Oh
When you
man.
whip your dick out and you pick Corviknight, it's just...
Corviknight and Mega Altaria.
And Cheetah.
I was just going to talk about the core of his first 2 picks, Corviknight and Mega Altaria. Maybe the best Dragon Fairy Steel core you could get. Maybe.
Yep, gross. Just lots of gross.
Corviknight covers so much of this team, it's kind of ridiculous. It covers T-Tar and Mega Altaria. It's going to cover Tentacruel. Oh, sort of cover Tentacruel with the ground
Flying.
weakness. Yeah, it's so good.
Yep, this team is terrifying. Buzzwole, huge. Torterra, huge.
And that's all without even mentioning that he has Draco's ult in the sand.
Yep, we're just gonna ignore that. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Oh god, he improved on his I'm gonna draft 11 decent Pokemon method. Because that's what his strategy was last season. That's what it is this season. Except this time he's got a little bit of sand in there to go fast.
I think maybe the only mon I don't like is Flareon, but that's because it missed 3 Zap cannons in a row from me.
That's amazing.
Also, his fastest mon outside of sand is Azelf, and then there's a pretty big gap afterwards because you're not going to be running fast Tentacruel a lot of the time. So he has one of those like middling speed tiers.
I mean, he's got Floatzel. Floatzel is...
He's also got Dragon Dance on both Altaria and Tyranitar.
Yep, that's true. You can't sleep on a Dragon Dance.
Especially on a T-Tar that can equip items.
And then, like, Dracozolt doesn't even need to run speed with Hustle because of Blunder Policy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, another...
We, as a league, do not utilize Blunder Policy enough.
Another
Drac,
thing...
You should have used it.
I could have. What I was going to say, his Z co-captain has Hustle. When I ran Durant, I ran Z item on it almost every single week because Z item, Z moves, can't miss. Don't even check accuracy. It's just a free choice spin on your Z move.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's a big nope from me. It's going to be a no from me, dog. Manus has a decent team. It's going to be a fun season. Also note, he doesn't have an S tier Pokemon. He instead went for 3 tier 1s.
Very viable strategy. I've done that a few seasons.
Yeah. I mean, this is coming from the dude who has 2 S tier Pokemon, but like, I've definitely looked at the tier list before and gone, do I really need an S tier? Because you could just save the points.
Yeah, last season my only tier 1 Pokemon and my most expensive was Stakataka.
In stacks. But no, Manus's team, very good. Like, it doesn't even need to be fast. Like, you're not going to one-shot a lot of these boys.
Very true. Anything more to say?
Really just the last 4 picks, like Flareon, Torterra, Buffalon, Floatzel. I originally said they just got pulled out of the hat. They're like, all right, what month next? But they after what you guys are saying, they kind of do their part.
Right. If Flareon kills 2 Pokemon and itself, it did the thing.
Yep, because I believe Flareon's got better physical attack than special, right?
Yeah, it is the Flare Blitzmon.
Yeah, and it's got that big 130 Spadef.
Yeah. It gets Flame Charge. If it gets going, it's going to kill some people, but it's probably going to kill itself first.
Very true. And with that, into the second half of the Jellicent division, Dylan with Fits and the Tyrantrums. And a very fitting team card. Background mon being Tyrantrum himself. I think he's got an insanely good Fairy Dragon Steel Core. With, Aegislash, the other new boy on the docket.
Yeah. Tyrantrum and Whimsicott, yeah, that's good.
And even Hatterene.
I don't like Whimsicott being...
Whimsicott.
Oh, we can point out any mons might fucked up.
I don't think I've done that.
I think this is the first one.
I mean, but Whimsicott and Rotom Wash are his earthquake checks. That's it.
That's true.
Going on the opposite of what Bick was talking about. Bick was talking about with somebody needing a zillion earthquake checks. Like, Aegislash doesn't appreciate earthquake. Tyrantrum doesn't appreciate earthquake. That's really it.
Whimsicott is kind of small, so that being your earthquake check is a little suspicious. So it's essentially just Rotom Wash, and Rotom Wash is a good EQ check. Not many Moldbreaker mons. I don't know if we've seen any in his division.
And quick look at I don't think Buzzwole doesn't get it. So
what was that? Were you saying, Bick?
Shadow Ball immunity or resist and immunity is Ursaring, which I don't like.
Doesn't it make it Glalie dark?
No.
Pure Ice?
Yep, Pure Ice.
Okay.
Yeah, so Fast Ghost might be an issue.
Yeah, it would, because even Hatterene, it's gonna die. Jesus, yeah, no, Fast Ghost. Volcarona, I'm interested. I don't think that makes it to the end of Dylan's season, just because this as a league has not seen Volcarona do things.
Volcarona kind of runs into the issue where you kind of want both rocks and the Charty Berry, and when you have one, you don't have the other. So if he wants Volcarona to pop off, he's going to need very strong defoggers, which he has, and strong removal with Hitmonchan, Whimsicott, and Rotom. That's great removal. but you can very easily see an endgame situation where it's Volcarona and it needs to 2-tap this bulky rock with Giga Drain, but it just can't.
Right. I mean, if he can get Volcarona in a favorable position where he can hit the QD or even get the second one off, sure, but like it's gonna be hard, especially in his division. I feel like with Manus alone, just like everything has an assault vest. Like, yeah, T-Tar's, no, it's just gonna be a problem. I'm interested to see how long Volcarona makes it on this team. It will have some lasting effects on Vic, though. Looking at that.
Huh?
Wow, yeah, that kind of, if he gets 2 QDs off, Mega Gallade, Weavile, and Steela probably don't want to hang out.
That's why I have Magmortar.
It is why you have Magmortar.
Ooh. So Magmortar's your Volcarona check?
That's
Spoilers. Spoilers.
I have Crustle. Wait, Lasagna Crab.
I like Dylan's team, and Dylan's a good battler. It's going to be very interesting to see how he plays. I love Rotom Wash.
Wait, Lasagna Crab.
I like Dylan's team, and Dylan's a good battler. It's going to be very interesting to see how he plays. I love Wash.
Yeah.
Lasagna Crab.
He's got the double dance with just an insane offensive presence. Aegis Slash can go either. Whimsicott is great support. Yeah. Like maybe the only criticism is that he doesn't have a dark type with just otherwise I think offensive presence great. Either Whimsicott is great support. Like maybe the only criticism he's got that he doesn't type. It's just otherwise I think offensive pro team is great. Either Cod is great support.
Hilarious.
I think maybe if I was piloting the team I would make Whimsicott the main Z captain because like we said Volcarona is going to be wanting the boots or the berry most weeks,
right?
And Whimsicott gets the prankster priority Z memento to full heal something.
And I'm sure it gets other interesting Z moves.
Z Tailwind for crits.
Ah, yeah, Z Tailwind. Even just the prankster Tailwind to suicide and like maybe even let Volcarona in, like a Specs Volcarona with Tailwind, because you get the extra turn if you suicide with Whimsicott. That could be something.
We'll see. I don't know. Volcarona kind of pairs up well against this division, but if there was a mon I'd see leave, it would probably be Volcarona. I feel like he's just very well made. Did he get moved down recently?
He got moved down last season to 120 and nobody still bit, and somebody bit this season.
We'll see how he does. Flame Body's hilarious. I hope he burns somebody.
Shut up. It's gonna be me. I know it.
You're gonna hit him with Gallade and he's gonna burn you.
Next up, rounding out the Driftblim division, Thomas, Drayden's Army. I love Kyurem. I think Kyurem is absolutely worth 200. I'm glad to see he's being picked up. Slowking. It's almost a criminal offense that it was 100 in its introductory season.
I agree.
Amazing mon. Mega Autono, insane at 100 points.
I fucking love that Pokemon. Love it. When I had Mega Gym, it was a great time.
Oh yeah. I really like Thomas's team a lot.
Yeah.
Like Slowking plus Mega Autono. You're gonna have a really tough time breaking that.
Yep. And then just him being able to heal Entei and Gyarados up and Kyurem, like I hate it. I absolutely hate it. And then even like Shaman, that's gonna do some things in this division.
Oh, absolutely. Shaman is very deceptively tanky with 100 across the board and like Leech Seed Synth. Also very good with the offense with Seed Flare being a 40% chance to drop your Spadef by 2 stages.
Yeah. And even Prankster Liepard, like that's gonna do. Thomas has a great team. I don't know how I feel about Z Captain Entei. I probably would have done like main Z Captain Slowking for them teleport plays.
He does not get teleport.
Oh, does Slowbro or is it just the regular?
The regular ones get teleport, but the Galarian variants do not.
Interesting. Okay, then never mind.
Do Z-moves get the Tough Claws boost?
No.
Damn it. Alright. And I would probably
Who gets Tough Claws? Oh, Berserker. No. Yes?
No, Berserk. Yeah.
Okay.
Berserker gets Stuff Claws.
She also gets Steely Spirit or some shit.
Yeah. Problems with this team. The only hazard removal is Surfetched, which is not hazard removal.
Love with this team, Entei. Just love it.
Stupid Pokemon. Garbage. Move it down. Joe, Manny.
No,
can't
Entei
wait.
is not. Entei is not terrible.
I can't wait for Thomas to lead Entei against you and hit Banded Sacred Fire, and one of your mons has to risk that burn. Even if it's Magmortar, he can still leave. I am so excited for that.
I have a Swampert.
That doesn't want to get burned, homie.
Scald. Earth Power.
Yeah, but then, well, he's got like one of the best special checks in the game with G Slowking.
Bro,
Like I don't think an Earth Power is doing more than a third.
Right, he's gonna pop off. That Entei is gonna ruin people's lives.
Oh yeah.
If Entei doesn't get a burn, we're moving it down. I'm calling it.
I don't think we're
Entei and-
moving Entei down.
Entei and Raikou were not on my championship winning team, but they took me to. Listen, I rode Entei and Raikou straight to the ship. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I hated that team so much.
Exactly, bro. Like, they're so good. Entei's amazing.
Yeah, Thomas's team is just insanely good, insanely well-rounded. Maybe like it's an issue that Shaman is your fastest mon, but even then, he's got like the dance on Gyarados, that's always a threat. Dance on Kyurem, always a threat. So I think Thomas is doing pretty good with this
He's gonna
lineup.
have a hard time bringing Entei and Gyarados to the same matchup. I feel that's gonna be a thing. And Kyurem might get pigeonholed into being special too.
Yep, that's true.
It's just a lot of his offensive mons really want no hazard damage. Like Gyarados.
That's true. Yeah, none of them want Stealth Rocks. His first
Yeah, you
three
can only
mons that
run
I'm
rocks
looking
on.
at here.
You can only run boots on one of them.
Right. Like none of them mons want to deal with rocks. You're very right there. Thomas should look into getting a removal.
All right, that's gonna do it for the Driftbloom division, right? That's what we were on. Jellicent, of course.
Jellicent. I think
All
you're
right.
Driftbloom, aren't you? Or I was Driftbloom.
I'm Gengar. Yeah, you're Driftbloom.
I'm Driftbloom. You're Gengar.
I'm Gengar. Speaking of the Gengar division, it's my team, Genesect Qua.
I love it. Wait. It's not Genesect. No, I can't.
Genesect Qua. It's like Je ne sais
Okay.
quoi.
Oh yeah, I knew it was like Genesect, but I wanted to say I can't.
Were you gonna say
I don't-
Gene Sect? Like turn it into two
I was
words?
gonna say I can't do it, but I was. I can't English right now. Okay.
All
Moving on.
Moving on. Silvally, you know, as they said on the broadcast, one of my comfort mons. I like it a lot. I love hitting Z
you.
parting shot. I love him being any type that I need, especially when I don't have a dragon type on my team.
Yep.
I like the strong offensive megas. I've drafted, you know, Mega Gyarados, Mega Gallade, Mega T-Tar, and now Mega Medicham.
I hate it. Thanks. Go on.
I'm interested to use Blacephalon because Beast Boost is amazing.
Yeah, I feel like Blacephalon is one of them whelming mons. I like him as your Z captain though, because hitting Z Mind Blow is the mic of all mic
Oh
plays.
yeah,
That's
that's something like 200 base power.
Right. I mean, you have Arcanine at a quick look at that's gonna eat it, but like, you get the things that solve that out of the way, and it's very much looking at something's gonna fucking die on your team. Be ready.
I'm still so mad the DLC fucked up Blacephalon, not giving it Flare Blitz or Poltergeist.
Yeah, I was interested to see that he didn't get Flare
Does
Blitz or
he have
Poltergeist.
good enough physical attack?
He has 121 physical attack.
126.
Why? Why?
Because he has no defenses.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, I mean, physical
I don't want a
Blacephalon.
mod with that high attack getting the ability to hit Banded Poltergeist on me. I don't want that at all.
It does not. Well, good for you. It does not get Poltergeist or Flare Blitz.
Thank Christ. It's so much damage.
I would have loved it to get those two moves, but alas.
I love your core though. Just not even your core, just like Ugh, it's so good. I love your late drop of Empoleon into Primarina.
Yeah. I definitely so I dropped Empoleon and Diancie for Lycanroc, Midnight, and Primarina.
Love it.
And when I was doing prep and just looking at my division, I sort of saw that Empoleon's not very good, despite it having, the Manny seal of approval with the very high rating in terms of like the utility.
Sometimes monsters don't match up in your division, right?
Yeah. It being weak to both Earthquake and Fighting was a big problem.
Oh yeah, and like I'm looking at Rotom Heat here. You have Galarian Zapdos, Rotom Cut. You have two different Rotoms. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I actually wanted Rotom Wash for my division, but alas.
Good. That's what you get for taking Savali.
I'm very excited to use Nidoqueen. It's can both hit hard and tank a hit. Thwacky is amazing for 60 points. I really like my team. I'm a big fan of it.
I'm about it. I love Thwacky. Look in there. If I did not get Meganium, Thwacky was definitely on my radar.
I think maybe the only thing I would say about my team is I normally draft a Wishmon just because it's sort of a comfort thing. But I have no Wishmon this season.
You have a healing Wishmon.
I do have a healing Mon.
And you also have Mandibuzz with Roost.
Yeah. And I've got Thwacky for the sustain, so I think I'm going to be fine without Wish. But
plus, just the offensive team of Mega Medicham and Blacephalon is terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Two Mons I don't want to have to take a hit from.
Yeah, two Mons that are just going to be punching holes. I think Bick was going to say something.
Scarf G Mime with Healing Wish.
Yeah, oh yeah, Mime has Healing Wish, that's right.
Get Medicham back up to full.
Oh baby. You got the cogs turning now.
Wait, Medicham gets Recover, that's right. I told Drac to run bulking Medicham.
Oh yeah, Mega Medicham gets Recover. Although I think if the Mega Medicham check switches in, it's going to be tough to be hitting Recover against it, but we'll see.
Okay, but like, how many things really check Mega Medicham for more than like one turn?
Yeah, that's true.
You can check Mega Medicham, not for a long time. It's for a very short amount of time, and you better answer it in that short amount of time, or you're screwed, because it's going to kill everything.
Alright, and with that, let's continue in the Gengar division with my boy, Jack, MF Gloom.
MF Gloom. Love
That is such
it.
a good name.
It really is. Also, I love his team. He drafted like at least two at a quick glance of my favorite Pokemon in Flygon and Arcanine. I love shitty Garchomp. So good.
I like that Jack has a wide breadth of offense.
Yeah.
Like almost all of these Mons are both big and can hit hard.
I mean, Rayfurier's large. I don't know how big Rotom Cut is. Amok's large. I just looked at Mega Pinsir's base stats before, and his attack is off the charts.
Yeah, I think it's 165, and then he has 120 defense.
It's unnecessary.
It's a lot.
He gets Sword Stance.
Oh yeah.
This is not right. And then, like, you try and hit Mega Pinsir with a fire move, here comes Arcanine, or Rayfurier.
Or even the Assault Vest Alolan Muck, speaking of comfort picks.
I love Alolan Muck for Jack. Jack makes Alolan Muck look like the greatest Pokemon alive. He's gonna do work.
Oh yeah.
Muck and Gengar, oof, both of them don't appreciate an Earthquake, actually. Minus, Rotom Cut and Flygon and Murkrow. A lot of things on his team don't appreciate a good Earthquake.
Remember when
Pinsir is Bug?
Yeah, Pinsir resists.
Yeah, he does.
Bick?
He goes against Tristan on his schedule, and like I said before, ground resists are kind of needed. It ain't looking good for...
No, 1,000 Arrows is gonna do the thing.
Oh yeah, 1,000 Arrows might be an issue.
And then, like, no fairy type either.
Or steel type.
Outrage, that scale shot.
Yeah, but he has ways to cripple it too. I don't know if Rotom Cut gets Willow, but like Arcanine sure as shit does. I wouldn't count it out, but you're right. He needs to figure out how he's going to get around Zygarde later in the season.
I mean, like, maybe Inteleon?
Hey, Scarf Inteleon with a free with an Ice Beam will do the thing.
Banded Icicle Spear.
Why?
Or you could just run the Ice Beam.
Yeah, why do you always have to do the weird one? Just run the kit, bro. Hit the button.
Because that's the thing you're going to expect. You'll be like, alright, let me put all my bulk into special defense. Nope. Physical.
I'm still just
I think you analyze that on a case-by-case basis.
Right.
But regardless...
Whatever.
Regardless, we'll continue with the Gengar division. Jack's team, very scary. Lots of versatility in his offense. He's got Audino as support. He loves screens Rotom. So that's going to be a fun season.
Just thinking of Flygon behind screens, like that's just free Dragon Dancing.
Absolutely.
It's just Dragon Dancing, right? And he gets Roost on Flygon too, like oof.
Next up, James with the new Jack Swing with the Turtwig crew. I don't get whatever reference that is.
Neither do I. Get me the Captain America gif, except I don't understand that reference. Also, I hate this team. Mega Scizor backed up by Rotom Heat and Kingdra. Ugh.
That is absolutely scary. Those three together. Outside of those three, it's kind of a weird team to look at. It's almost like
I agree.
It's almost like you have mons that step on each other's toes a little bit. Like you have both Runerigus and who is this Grimmsnarl, who do the bulky sit there thing.
I mean, Grimmsnarl gives you the prankster screens.
Yeah, Grimmsnarl gives you prankster screens and T-Wave. That's true.
I'm kind of confused why he picked up Toucanon before anything else.
Toucanon's awesome, and that's why.
I want to look at James's team and go why, but I've also learned to not question James. But I'm also looking at Galarian Zapdos and Mega Scizor and going, they kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, like there's no real special presence.
Kingdra and Rotom
Yeah,
Heat.
it's essentially just Critra and Rotom Heat. Those are special presence.
But, like,
well,
Kingdra
actually,
outside of Rain.
Yeah, actually, Rampardos, with sheer force, he can run some special moves. He gets, I believe, Ice Beam and Fire Blast. So I think special.
65.
Physical walls are definitely gonna not want to be run against James, but like if you can, I don't know. He has a lot of good mons, but again, I'm just looking at those 200s going. They kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, that is true. I find it kind of hilarious that I, picked Mega Medicham first, and then I get put in the division with the guy who steals your ability.
Oh yeah, Runegrius.
Runegrius? Lunarigus.
Runerigus. There you go.
English Pokemon pronunciation 101. We'll start a new class.
Yeah.
Mike Mulligans.
I haven't given a shit since '92, bro.
He's doubled up on the fairy types, but he also has the quad resist with Rotom Heat.
I always forget Grimmsnarl's fairy.
He doesn't have a grounded poison type, but Rotom Heat is a great defogger. He doesn't really have a rapid spinner unless Barbaracle gets it, and I just forgot.
It's just Toucanon and Scizor. There's other removal.
Ah, Scizor, that's right.
I don't even think.
But I don't know.
Go ahead.
No, I literally don't know what the hell James's plan is. I never know what his plan is when he drafts.
It's a little bit of a weird team, and we didn't even talk about Crabominable, the ice and fighting type.
Is James going to Trick Room?
Who's his setter? Does Grimmsnarl set it?
Rune.
Ah, Runerigus sets it. Okay. He's got the Trick Room core with Rampardos and Crabominable.
And then
Mega Scizor also is not exactly fast.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Obviously Bullet Punch, but like.
And then, because the thing is, stuff like Tornadus and other fast mons past 115 can run non-speed boosting natures, so Trick Room might be the play. like Banded Zapdos and Trick Room. Ooh.
Oh, if you run like minus speed and 0 EVs. Oh, yeah, it's probably going to underspeed, I would guess 70.
I don't
That'd be
like
my
the
guess.
idea of Mega Sizzle going first and not having to hit Bullet Punch to do it. I don't like that. That makes me uncomfortable. That's a really strong Bug Bite coming in, or Iron Head, like, ow. But what's the 60? What's his Technician boosted steel move? Is it just Bullet Punch?
It's just Bullet Punch, yeah, and then he has Bug Bite for the Bug Stab.
Right.
All right, and then to round out the Gengar division, we have Hunter with Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Puffs. Another amazing name.
It really is. It really is.
All right, so what I noticed about this team is that he's essentially run this team before, except it's a lot better now. He's run the Coco Mega Beedrill Zam thing before, but now he has Vaporeon as Wish support. He's got great removal with Torn, and Rapid Spin on Eldegoss. He picked up the best Tapu Koko check in Steelix, so this team's looking real scary.
He's also got Film Girder for removal.
He does have Girder for removal, that's true. But
And you know what?
he has
Do
removal
not
outside of that.
sleep on Morpeko. I'm interested that he drafted both Morpeko and Coco, but do not sleep on Morpeko.
Rising Volt. Those Aura Wheels are gonna hurt in.
Those Aura Wheels are gonna fucking hurt, and he's gonna get faster.
Does Morpeko get Rising Voltage?
I don't like that. I don't want to think about that.
Yes it does. It does get Rising Voltage. Look at that.
And it's not exactly that he's ran these Pokemon before, it's that he's run Mega Beedrill before, but I think the rest are new to him. Because like he's run this hyper offensive before.
I think when he was in my division 2 seasons ago, he had Zam, Beedrill, Coco.
Okay, because I know he had
And
Coco
Girder.
and
He had Girder
Lando.
too, that's right.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Dylan?
Oh, was it Dylan or was it... Oh.
No, because Hunter had Mega Beedrill and
I might have gotten
Lando
confused.
at the same time.
I think I got them confused. That's my bad.
This team looks scary though. You're right. Like I love looking at Dredigan right there. Like, it's a very scary team. Just Vaporeon being able to slow pivot now. Good draft.
Oh wait, the dual wish with Kangaskhan and Vaporeon?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. He's got both wishes. Kangaskhan
Right.
gets Wish. Kangaskhan also sleeper 40-point Mon. I was looking to draft it actually.
I keep
But
looking
it gets
at Zam and
it gets
seeing
all the
120.
coverage. It gets scrappy.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good, especially for 40 points.
Gets Wish and Wish T-Wave Toxic.
You ready for Hunter to put Alakazam right back in tier 1 where it belongs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
That's gonna happen.
That guy moving down was a big
Yep.
mistake.
Somebody was drunk.
All right, that's the Gengar division. So now we got the Dusknoir division, finishing it up. Leibo, reigning champion Leibo.
Raining, was that a pun? Did you do that on purpose?
You know what? Now that you said that, yes, I did.
I mean, there's no rain this time.
Right, he's
He reigned last
stepping
season.
away.
He reigned
He-
last season, and he's reigning this season.
This is the only season he's been with us that he hasn't run a weather team. He's run weather every season, and you know what? I'm gonna say that he's not going to, but motherfucker has Klefki, and that boy does get prankster weather moves.
And he also has unmegaed Venusaur potentially to run.
Chloro.
Yeah,
Yeah, to run
Chloro.
Chloro.
Listen, Mega Venusaur, I try and take every season, and almost every season it goes before I can get it.
Yeah,
It is,
thick
it's
fat.
so good.
Yeah, thick fat, 80 HP, 120 in both defenses. Ugh.
You want a mon that stops all momentum? Mega Venusaur.
And you
Hey,
want
guys.
to pair it with the most disgusting defensive core you've ever seen, beside P2 and Slowking.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. However, both P2 and Slowking do not appreciate a knockoff. However, that's what Mega Venusaur is for.
Absolutely.
But it's food for thought. Like, Mega Venusaur is going to be eating a lot of knockoffs for this team. And Klefki. Klefki can eat one or two.
I think he's sort of lacking in removal. That's maybe the only criticism.
Yeah, because his removal doesn't want to run removal.
No, Archeops wants to run other moves.
And
I mean,
Klefki's
he
going
can
to want
normal
spikes.
gem rapid spin.
Klefki get defog?
Yeah, Klefki gets defog. Yeah,
Okay.
I suppose Rapid's been on Hitmonlee.
I don't know if Lee gets it. I know Chan does. I don't think Lee does.
All the Hitmons do.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
That is an underrated move for Hitmonlee. Then I did not know that he got it too.
I'm also sort of perplexed as to why Hitmonlee even moved down.
Yeah. Wait, no. Hitmonlee did not need to be 100. He's a good 60. Where he was 60. He's a good 60. I don't think the jump from 40 to 100 is so hard to justify sometimes.
Yeah.
Ground resist. Where is it?
Yeah, it's kind of just Archeops.
Kind of just Archeops, right?
But you click Stone Edge, and then Archeops dead.
Right.
Okay,
Most things that
but
get
it's-
EQ also get Stone Edge or Rock Slide.
But at a quick glance, I mean, he's got Gligar to worry about, Seismitoad, and Crook. Oh boy, Crook. It's Mitch. Never mind. So you are right though. Like Leibo might have a big problem with ground, but at the same time, like Venusaur eats moves that it's weak to. Happily.
It's pretty
Often.
much just Fire and Ice though, because of Thick Fat.
Yeah, but
It's-
its defenses aren't terrible. Like it'll probably eat the Earth Power or an Earthquake, depending.
Yeah. I guess it's
And
one of
then
those
clap
things
back with
where
that grass move.
right. I think it's one of those things where maybe it's a little bit hard because if it's already chipped, you can't really switch it in. It might be
Yes.
one of those things.
And you know what? Being weak to ground in any Pokemon League is dangerous. It's really dangerous just because of how prevalent. Like Earthquake is base 100. It's the best coverage move in the game.
Yeah, and I think Leibo's going to have to lean on Haxorus and his other low tiers to pick up the offensive slack. But that being said, Hax is a great offensive mon to have.
Yeah, what
Especially as a
really?
What was
His
that?
offense is really just Haxorus.
I think Zoroark to an extent.
I guess. You're
I mean,
right.
you guys couldn't figure out Zoroark when I had him.
No, like it's just the way I draft. I'd like to have at least one expensive mon that can kill things, and I mean, I guess he does have Haxorus, but
Like, Zoroark got base 120 special attack and 105 attack.
yeah, it can do both, and it's a great Z captain. Like, I totally support that.
In a division with Mitch, there's no point, like, Mitch doesn't know Zoroark whatsoever. When I beat Mitch because he didn't, like, know
Oh,
what
I already know how the Leibo Mitch match is going to go. He's going to see Mega Venusaur in front of him and hit Psychic on a Raichu just to get Dark Pulsed.
Oh, that's so good. Poor Mitch. I don't know though, because Mario's like stepping out as the co-host, so maybe Mario will just help Mitch not suck even more. Although you can only tell somebody so much; they have to not suck on their own.
All right. Moving on. In the Dusknoir division, we have Kyle.
Nope, I just want to skip it. Kyle, we don't even need to talk about this. Fuck you, Kyle. I told you it when I saw you last week when you drafted this team, and I'm gonna tell you again. Fuck you.
So yeah, Kyle has maybe the best Firewater Grass core I've ever seen, because I think they all cover each other perfectly.
Yeah, listen, if I ever wanted to draft Toxapex, genius putting Rillaboom behind it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely genius. And then you slap a little Victini in there.
For
Like,
the Psychic
come
Resist.
Come on. That's terrifying. I hate it. And then he's got, like, Rillaboom is just so good on this team to help him with Earthquake.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah, and he has insanely strong hazards.
yeah.
With does Toxapex hit both spikes? Or
No, it's
Toxapex?
just Toxic Spike.
I mean, still, you
Yeah.
got T-Spikes, Webs, Rocks. That's so good, and that sort of makes up for Gligar being the only defogger. Because
He
if you have
has a
stronger
problem.
hazards than your opponent, the onus is on them to defog for you, essentially.
What stops Hawlucha?
Gligar.
I'm pretty sure Lucha gets Ice Punch.
Oh, does he?
Okay, so like, I ask this because Kyle has 1 Mon weak to fighting, 2 Mons weak to fighting, 3 Mons, 4 Mons very weak to fighting, And then one of those mons is weak to flying. Like Lucha on Mitch's team against Kyle might put in the work.
But it's also Mitch. You got to remember that.
Okay, but like,
We're not even at Mitch's team yet. Come on,
It's
guys.
not even.
We're
you're
talking about the
right.
Crimson Kinglers, Kyle's team.
Kyle drafted a really good team.
Oh,
I don't
absolutely.
think Kyle looked at his division.
Like X walls Lucha pretty well. It won't get the terrain boost from. We'll talk about Mitch's team later, but yeah.
Lucha does get Earthquake though, but I mean then it's weakened by the terrain. I don't know. Oh, it does get Haze though. Will Haze get rid of the Unburden boost?
No, it won't get rid of the
Oh.
Unburden boost. It will get rid of the
It's the Sword Stance if he
electric,
uses it.
yeah, the electric seed and the sword stance.
Right. Oh my god, it would be great if he uses like a red card on Toxapex and just
Oh, okay. I guess I can reveal this tech because when I was prepping for Kyle's electric terrain team, I had Steelix with Boots, Sturdy, and Roar specifically to get rid of the Unburden on Lucha.
Listen, man, people don't ever think about phasing. I love phasing.
Yeah.
But he's got
It's
so
great.
much phasing. Roar on Xcloud, Whirlwind with Gligar and Hariyama.
Yep. Red card could be on anybody. It's really hard to one-shot Toxapex.
Licky Licky is an underrated tier 4 mon.
Oh yeah.
That's my boy.
It gets Wish, it gets Bandit Explosion for the lulls.
Specs Licky, watch out.
Yeah, an Assault Vest on Licky Licky. Like, he was here, as I mentioned earlier, when he did the draft, and like I almost took Licky Licky, and I ended up passing it to him, but great mon. Absolutely fantastic. I like Kyle's team. He just has to play very careful, like...
And also, Z Bishop making a comeback. We've all seen that replay of Kyle's first championship where Bishop just
Yeah.
got a fat sixer.
Yeah, where he kind of just stepped on his brother a little bit, right? Yeah. Yeah. I don't like Victini being able to see all the things either. I don't, that makes me
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Fortunately, no Z Omni Boost.
I mean, he couldn't use it anyway, but
That's what.
still
Well, that's what I'm
just-
talking about. He can't use it
The
because
amount
of
of
the rules.
coverage that stupid rat gets.
Yeah, Victini gets insane coverage.
Yeah, it gets to hit all the moves.
Why is V create 180 base power? The world may never know.
They're like, it nerfs 3 of your stats. That's fine.
All right, moving on. That was the Crimson Kinglers. Dave, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Love it. Isn't it time pull?
My Dragapult.
Is it Time Pole? I think it's Timpole because it's sort of close with Tadpole.
Okay.
I don't know. I might have to take the L on that one.
I always thought it was time pull. I mean, I feel like that's one of the ones where the English language is stupid, so it works.
Right. And it's Temple, so it makes sense to have the soft Y.
That's true too.
All right. Dave's type cores are insanely good. He's got Fighting Psychic Dark with
Yeah.
Machamp, Incineroar, Metagross. A very strong Fairy Dragon Steel with Dragapult, Metagross, and Granbull. Granbull, very underrated 40-pointer. In Tim,
Gets
Pure
Wish,
Fairy.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
good. And Tim, Wish, Play Rough, so good. Screens, Heal Bell, like, great mon.
Absolutely. Fire, Water, Grass, and Sin, Seismitoad, Go Goat.
Go-Goat is also an underrated mon. I'm saying it.
I believe it.
I love the Machamp pick. Or is it going to be Specs, Focus, Hit, Machamp? Who knows?
Yeah, Specs, No
knows?
Guard.
Yeah.
No Guard, Dynamic Punch. Guts.
No guard focus miss, bro. It's almost foolproof. Plus weakness policy, rock polish, Metagross will win Dave at least one game.
Oh, absolutely. I was looking at Seismitoad. I was a little sad that he went before it came back around to me in round 4.
Can we talk about his dark psychic ghost core of fucking Dragapult, Metagross, and Incineroar? Like,
Oh,
come
insane!
on.
Yeah, the checks to Dragapult are gonna get absolutely walled by Metagross and Incin.
Yeah, and then he has 2 Intimidate mons too with Granbull and Incineroar
Oh yeah,
as well.
yeah, very true. Z Parting Shot for Incineroar. I loved running that.
Yeah, very good. So good. I like the Thundo T pick too. Now that we moved him down, I think he's going to be a very good 160.
I think the only thing the team is lacking is actual removal, because it's Frostmoth and Thunderous.
Yeah.
Huh, yeah, you're right.
And Incineroar is not going to appreciate coming into rocks a lot of times.
Yeah, especially if it's got that Z crystal.
Right. And you know what? Thundo isn't going to appreciate them rocks a lot either.
I mean, his recovery is essentially tied down to Incineroar. That's maybe another issue.
Thundo is going to, speaking of Mitch's team again, Thundo is going to put a big hole in Mitch's plans.
That's
it
right.
won't get the terrain boost.
It doesn't have to. It'll stop a Raichu from doing the thing.
I guess.
Because it'll volt absorb the rising voltage.
Yeah, that might be a pick just because he saw Mitch was in his division.
Right, and I mean, look, I think Thundo is going to do very good here. I mean, it's gonna rip through Toxapex if it gets the option to. I like the Thundo pick.
Yeah,
I hope it goes off.
It actually matches up very well against Kyle's top 3 core.
Right, and even against Slowking over there in Leibo's team, like it's gonna do well. I like Dave's team. I think Dave always drafts a pretty competent team. I like it.
Yeah, I have very few criticisms of this team other than the recovery. It's so solid all around.
Yeah,
Dragapult's just amazing.
Wait, Dragapult isn't a Z captain. That's a problem. Can we point that out?
I guess. I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Well, the Z crystal does help Dragapult out a lot because
Making
all the non-stab
the
coverage it
knockoff.
gets.
Like, is Z Steel Wing the only real way around fairy types for Dragapult? Like, Mike, I brought that against you when you had Mega Audino.
I fucking shit my pants, bro. Shit right in my pants. I was like, I didn't plan for that, that's for sure.
And I guess, like, Dave does have good fairy answers being Muck and Metagross. But, like,
I'm interested to see what he does.
Yeah.
Wow, his team is expensive. He took 3 tier 1s and a tier S.
Yeah, and I think his lower tiers are kind of right on the money with what he needs. Maybe except for Malamar. I think Malamar is one of those kind of trap mons where, contrary superpower is so awesome, but...
Bro, look at how it matches up in his division, though. Like, what on Mitch's team fucking deals with that? Playing his Lucha.
Yeah, it's Lucha. But I mean, maybe Malamar gets the defense up. We'll see. We'll see how it
Right.
plays out.
I hope Malamar goes off at least one game, because it's such a doofy mon.
Anyway, speaking of Mitch, the guy we just cannot help talking about in any of the Dusknoir Division's matchups, it's Mitch with Charlie Don't Surge Surf. So Mitch is doing this thing yet again where he drafts somebody else's team. He has Hawlucha, Pincurchin, and a Raichu.
Mitch always drafts someone else's team because he doesn't know how to draft his own team. I will say I like this team, and for somebody who's going for the electric train build, to go for Tangrowth, I'd argue that Tangrowth is one of the best earthquake checks in the game.
Yeah.
Throttle.
Grottle is great as well. But, similar role. I really like Tangrowth as an EQ check. That being said, he drafted Tangrowth alongside 4 other mons that are weak to EQ. So him being the sole, or 5 actually,
Right.
him being
Yeah,
the sole earthquake check is not necessarily a comfortable position.
And Lucha's a mon that I don't really feel comfortable switching into any kind of hit, because what if I'm wrong? What if it's
Right.
not the earthquake?
Right. Lucha is one of those mons you generally want to save for the end when you sort of sack Pincurchin with the terrain.
Right. And you know what, Mitch? He better prepare to just have earthquake hit on his face. I mean, his division doesn't have a lot of earthquake, but it's week 0, so they might adapt.
Oh, absolutely.
I do like the Typhlosion pick though.
Typhlosion is cool. I will say Mitch's offense, even though Hawlucha is obviously great, Alolan Raichu is obviously great, they're both great in terrain. However, they kind of require some setup to start going. Raichu really, really likes that nasty plot, and Hawlucha really likes the sword stance. And his removal is very bad, I think, because if you're running Rapid Spin on Starmie and Cryogonal, they're kind of pigeonholed into this more utility role where it's not necessarily comfortable to run like offensive Starmie when you're gonna be forced to hit a Rapid Spin then switch out, you know?
You know what might win Mitch a lot of games though? He has a lot of Scarf targets. Starmie, Crocodile, Typhlosion, like a lot of Mons on his team. Even I've run Scarf Cryogonal before. Like, he has a lot of Mons that can be a Scarf target.
Duraludon's also a good one with 85.
Yeah. Like, finding Mitch's Scarf is going to be pivotal to trying to beat him. Or Mitch hiding where his Scarf is going to be pivotal to him winning.
Yeah, bluff Scarfing something, like maybe you bring in, you bluff Scarf Crook to threaten a faster EQ on some other threat, and then he just hits rock. Yeah. Right.
Or even Duraludon can do that. Starmie can even hit Scarf Rapid Spin for the memes. Like, also get ready for Power Herb Meteor Beam Starmie if Mitch is any kind of smart.
Oh yeah, Power Herb Meteor Beam is a amazing set for Starmie, especially when paired with the Rapid Spin.
Right. It'll be interesting.
Mitch doesn't have a real fairy resist. It's just Arbok.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Okay, so he has Gramble to deal with. He has Gramble to deal with, and Klefki.
He has Hunter with Coco.
Yeah, out of division games are a little different. I see what you're saying, but like, I try and draft mostly for my division just because that's like 8 out of 10 of your or 8 out of 11 of your matches.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's going to be interesting to see Mitch battle. I like the idea of Z Teleport on Wigglytuff being the main Z captain. However, it sort of suffers from that, Teleport is lower priority and Wigglytuff is kind of slow, so it might just die on the turns you want to be hitting Z Teleport anyway, so...
And it's on Memento with Pincurchin.
I'm also interested just because Mitch took a Rain team to the championship, but I don't think an Electric Terrain team is as good as a Rain team or as easy to pilot as a Rain team. I think he's gonna. Hawlucha is definitely like squishier than Mega Swampert. Like you can fuck up a play on Mega Swampert and still recover. If you fuck up a play on Lucha, he's probably gonna die.
Yep, very true. And he's funnily going to be battling an Electric Terrain guy against. He's got his Electric Terrain team against Kyle, who had this team.
Yeah. And you said that he plays Hunter, so Hunter's gonna it has Coco on his team too, so that's fun.
You can always be Telepathy Coco.
I probably wouldn't bring Coco.
Does Coco
there,
even get
still.
that? Wait, is Telepathy the ability or the move?
The ability.
No, Coco's only ability is Electric Surge.
It's a hidden ability, I'm pretty sure. Coco.
People in the comments will.
Okay.
Okay. Potentially, it gets Telepathy.
That's all the teams.
Yep, that's all the teams.
We did it. We got through everyone.
We did it.
Only took like 2 hours.
Now
you guys drafted some shitty, scary teams, bro.
Yeah, lots to talk about. Time to talk about the matchups. Week 1 matchups.
Get hype. It's week 1, boys.
First up, we have LCD against Murphy. Scary
Drac,
Sand
make sure you're writing these down. We got to see who wins at the end.
Yeah, let me... Alright, got the text doc ready.
So, who do you have, Vic, for LCD versus Murphy? Who do you think's going to win this game? Because I'm putting you on the spot. Who's winning?
You're on the spot.
Gun to your head. Who's winning?
I said Murphy.
All right. Drac, what do you think?
I'm gonna give it to Murphy as well. I think Murphy can pull out some surprises. He's historically had strong starts to his seasons. I'm gonna give it to Murphy.
I think I'm actually gonna give it to LCD. He's not new in this league anymore, but I think that he's a really good battler, and he's definitely going to give Murphy a run for his money.
All right,
Giving
next.
it to the LCD.
So 2 for Murphy, 1 for LCD. Next up, Nijia against M1. I'm going to give it to my boy M1, I believe.
I've seen M1 make way too many, like, rookie mistakes. I think I'm going to have to give it to Nijia.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, based off the team matchup, I was leaning towards M1, but it's also M1 who has also made some whoopsies, so I might go Nijia.
I love M1, he's a great dude, but he just makes some cheeky, interesting, why the fuck do you click that move plays.
All right, that's 2 for Nijia, 1 for M1. Tristan against Jim. Oh, this is going to be an exciting match. 2 amazing battlers and 2 extremely scary teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to my co-host, Jim. It's gonna have to go to the OG co-host.
I'm also going to give it to Jim.
I'm also Jim.
Oh, that's a sweep.
That's a sweep.
That's a sweep. All right. Mike, why don't you tell us about your match against Dan?
I'm fucked, Dan.
Oh, come on.
Oh, I'm so scared, bro. It's gonna be a problem. I also don't generally have, minus like last season, I don't generally have good week ones. It takes me a minute to get into my team, and as I said, I don't have many comfort picks. I'm seriously giving this one to Dan. I don't think it's gonna go well for me.
Vic?
I'm going Mike.
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to go Mike too. I'm a believer.
Somebody has to.
You got the best Dracovish check in the game.
You seriously do.
I have one of them. Do you know how unhappy I am that I have to fight Dracovish again? Because this is the second time he's in my division.
Just don't blunder Arctivish.
Or Meganium.
Yeah, or
Screens
Meganium.
Meganium.
Mr. Steak.
Let's
You
go.
guys don't
Mr.
even know.
Steak. All right, Mr. Steak's going to put in the work. Same division. Bick, how you feeling against Manny?
Feel pretty good.
I concur. I also think you're going to do well against Manny.
I kind of am rage.
You want to make him rage?
Because last time I fought Manny...
Oh, that's right. You had Sub Willow Hex Dragapult.
And I made Manny run out the timer because he didn't feel like sitting there for 80 turns.
Well, it's not very hard to make Manus rage. He's been preparing for a baby and also doing nothing but thinking about Pokemon. I'm gonna have to give it to Manny. His team looks...
Ooh.
Both your teams look scary, but I'm gonna have to give it to him.
All right. Over to the... Not the Gengar division. Dylan versus Thomas, whatever division that is. Bick, why don't you start us off? Who do you think's winning Dylan v. Thomas?
I'm giving it to Thomas.
You know what? I am such a big fan of Kirim. I'm picking Thomas just because of that.
I can't legally pick Thomas until he wins a game that I didn't win for him, so I'm gonna have to pick Dylan.
All right. Ooh, me and Jack. I always pick myself. I always will pick myself. I'm picking myself. You gotta believe.
I'm also gonna pick you to win that one.
Ooh, is Bick gonna be the doubter?
I wouldn't say doubter.
That's a no.
All right, I'll put in Jack. I see how it is. I'm putting down Jack. Ooh, James and Hunter.
James.
I am also going to pick James. I think he's gonna come out with some explosive shit for week 1, and yeah, I want to pick James.
I'm just picking James. No explanation.
James.
That's another sweep, baby. All right, Leibo and Kyle, the rematch from round 1 of playoffs.
Just Kyle. I'm picking Kyle to win every game this season.
I am also going to pick Kyle just because I think Kyle has some really strong checks to the P2 Venusaur combo.
I was going Leibo.
Okay, we got a Leibo believer.
I'm going Kyle. Fuck him for how he drafted that team.
And our final match, Dave against Mitch. Do we even need to?
Nope.
Yeah, all right.
We don't even need
Dave, that's a sweep, baby.
I had a note in my. Is this really that hard of a decision?
Listen, I still watch the match where I beat Mitch with Iron Defense Registeel just to make me feel better about myself.
All right. And I believe there's only one more thing left on the docket before we wrap up this week 0 of Inside the PFL team overview. Boys, is this the most important week of the season?
Oh, easily. Very easily. It's week 1, bro. If you lose week 1, it sets the precedent for your whole season. If you win week 1, then it's just one more week for you to not be defeated and go undefeated. Easily the most important week of the season.
Easily.
Logic.
Undoubtedly the most important week of the season.
No doubt in my mind.
No doubt. And with that, we will call it a wrap. See you all week 1. Thanks for watching. Bye.